Hi, everyone. This is Craig Horsley of the Hidden Cabaret. We're located at 707 8th Avenue, that's between 44th and 45th Street. And on January 20th, on Monday, January 20th at 7 p.m., there's going to be a very special show, Blue Wave 2020, the Voting Rights Show. It's a benefit for Stacey Abrams-led voter protection. The group is called Fair Fight 2020. There'll be 16 singers, wonderful, sensational singers at the performance, and we are so thrilled to have Dawn Derow here. Welcome.
I love how you say my name, Dawn Derow.
Are
you? Where are you from? Jersey?
No, I'm from
New York?
Queens.
Queens.
I speak
Dawn
the
Derow.
Queen's English. Okay.
It's perfect. No, I love it.
Dawn.
Dawn.
And I'll have some coffee with that.
It's
Dawn.
so great. Well, I'm from Cape Cod, so people say my name Dawn.
Okay.
And so it always just depends on where you're from. Dawn. Anyway.
Dawn from New York having coffee with Craig.
Queens.
Well, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And so I've done some research. So you started as an opera singer.
I did. I went to the Boston Conservatory of Music, and I studied vocal performance and opera emphasis there, and thought I was going to be an opera singer. But I actually really always loved musical theater, even growing up. So I always kind of kept one foot in the musical theater world. I danced. I actually was one of those weird people in college who was an opera major but took all the dance and acting with the musical theater majors. So when I moved to New York, which was now 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I did more musical theater. I kind of switched right over.
And to be a Mac and Bistro Award winner, that's got to be a wonderful accomplishment. What did it feel like?
It's been a really wild. I guess I started in Cabaret in 2008. No one really knew me then, but I'd say my first noticeable show was Music for Two with Sean Harkness, and then it was just kind of it took off. The different shows I did Revolution, that won me my first MAC award, which also was very politically charged and kind of was a show about how little of years this country has that we've actually been at peace and not at war. It was kind of, but I did that with Kathleen France, and we won our first MAC award with that, and then I won my second MAC award for my ship, Songs from 1941.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, so 1941, what's the attraction to that year specifically?
It kind of fell into my lap, and especially because I was kind of this opera singer, pop singer, singer-songwriter. I was doing all these other genres as well, and I hadn't really dived into the jazz or the American songbook repertoire yet. So I was working with Barry Levitt, the late Barry Levitt, and there was a festival in Provincetown that they do every year called Cabaret Fest, and they were doing all 40s. So I loved the song My Ship, and I started looking at other songs from that year, and Barry and I, along with Jeff Harner, put together the show, and we opened it in Provincetown, and then unfortunately, literally on the night that we were going to open here in New York is when Barry had his heart attack. Oh. So that was really tragic, obviously, and a big, huge hole in the society in terms of music directors, in terms of coaching. He touched so many lives in his history with this community, with the jazz community, with orchestras. I mean, he just had years and years of experience that, it's hard to come by.
Right, and to pass along to the next generation if you pass so early. And
Yeah. And I learned a lot. I mean, I only worked with him for 3 years. I know there's so many people that I met even just through him and through his death that I'm very still connected to today. And there's Lori Krautz, for example, she's someone who's worked, she's on the program for the show.
Right.
And she's someone who's worked with him a long time, and Stephen knew him. I mean, just so many people knew him, and
yes.
I was lucky that I had 3 years and that I got this beautiful show, and then we brought Ian Herman on board to step in, and he I mean, really, when I say the ship has sailed, it's sailed many, many places since then. And that was, it started in 2017. So now here we are, 2020, and we're about to go into the studio to record it. So.
And Ian Herman, just to let everybody know, he's actually the music director of the show on January 20th. And I'm going to do a little plug for the show right now.
Go for it.
I want to thank Stephen Hanks for producing and hosting the show and giving me the opportunity to meet these wonderful talents. There are going to be 16 different individuals. Since I don't have a poster, I'm going to show you the postcard. And this is the postcard, Blue Wave 2020. It's at the Hidden Cabaret, 707 8th Avenue at 7 p.m. And I'm going to turn it over and look at that cast.
Look at those beauties.
It's amazing. 16 sensational singers. Stephen Hanks is, he's been in the business for a while, and he knows these people, and he's fantastic. And he's going to put on a terrific show, hosting it and producing it. And get your tickets at www.hiddencabaret.com. And now back to Dawn. Tell me some of the songs of 1941. I don't know what...
Well, At Last was written in 1941. Everyone
knows that from Barack and Michelle. Didn't he sing that to her?
Yeah, they danced to it. Did he sing it? I don't know.
I think he did.
Add that to his resume. Yeah, right. Beyonce sang it, I think. And then obviously everybody knows Etta James, which was in the 50s.
Sure.
But it was originally done in 41. I do, let's see, Let's Get Away From It All. It's from that year. How About You? I like New York in June.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Oh,
yeah.
There's an I Love Lucy episode where she does that with Van Johnson.
Oh, I have to look it up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's one of the California episodes.
I make sure I write that down. I love looking things up like that. Let's see. Okay, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. My Ship. So everything, I do 2 songs from Lady in the Dark. My Ship, which is probably one of my hands-down favorite songs to sing to this day. Skylark.
Oh, wow. What a great year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What a year.
So you'll buy the album.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I wanted to say is that, the album you're going into production
in February. We're actually picking the dates. I'm so excited. I picked the studio, Samurai Hotel Studios. It's out in Astoria in Queens.
Okay, great.
Okay. And Paul Rolnick is producing it. He's known for working with vocalists. He's married to Karen Mason.
Oh,
and
she's a Queens girl.
Yeah, and he's just incredible. So I'm really excited. This is my first real full album in the studio. Like I said, I did a show with Sean Harkness a few years ago, and we recorded our album live, and then we went into Spin Studio and we, did the editing and the mixing, and that was nominated for a MAC Award in 2014, but we didn't win. But it's still a great album, and you can find it on Spotify and all those things. But this is my first full dive into doing 12 tracks in a studio.
Now,
really exciting.
January 20th, I'm not going to ask you what song you're singing.
Right.
But what kind of...
I actually have a guest, too, that's going to be singing with me that will be a surprise.
What kind of genre? Is it from 1941?
It is not.
Okay.
No, it's actually a very new song by a pop artist. So I guess it's kind of like a pop anthem, I'd say. And it's about the refugee crisis at the border. So I'll just say that. It's a beautiful song, and I have a guest who's going to sing it with me.
Fantastic. So there'll be 17 people there.
Yes.
Wow. And hopefully people who are listening to us now will be there as well.
And there's just so many, there's so many great women on this roster, and I love that it's all women, and in a way, we're celebrating voters' rights and trying to get the word out. That's really important this year in 2020. But also, it's the 100-year anniversary for women voting.
It's amazing that it's
crazy
that we were a country for 150 years before that actually happened.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
it's
So it's
really
great. So basically, opera. You've done the cabaret. You're doing an album or a CD. I'm old, so I still call it an album.
I think we should go back to calling it an album
Good.
because a lot of people don't have CD players
No.
anymore. And I actually might even release it on vinyl because
That would be, wow. That'd be great.
it's really, yeah. I just got my dad a record player again because he has so many records. My last show, The House That Built Me, I did like a whole thing about how I grew up listening to all his albums. And so I got him a record player so he could listen to them again. And over the holidays, we're like, oh my God, they still sound so good.
They do,
It's
and
like really
then
amazing.
there's a little crackle in there. Actually, puts part of the song.
You have to flip it over.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
It's fun.
So, well, I want to thank you for coming down to talk to me. This is a great
Yes,
pleasure.
Yeah.
January 20th at the Hidden Cabaret, 707 8th Avenue. Tickets are at www.hiddencabaret.com. Visit the website because not only can you get tickets for this show, we're a new cabaret series. So come look at our roster of shows coming up. We're always constantly changing and coming up with new talent, some old favorites, and it's a great space. Thank you, Stephen Hanks, for hosting and producing this show, which is very important. It's a great cause. Stacey Abrams-led voter protection group, Fair Fight 2020. All proceeds go to that benefit. And thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Craig.
Thanks. See you there. Bye.